everyone, welcome back to On the Other Hand. I'm Ariane Zurcher, and this video, I was intending it to be the finish of this third sphere, but that's not what's happening. I had an idea, and it kind of got lost in the shuffle of the process, and so I am having to revisit the original idea, and I'm going to show you how I'm fixing it. So this video is about when we have an idea of something, when do you decide to just let it be whatever it's going to be and go with the flow, and when do you decide, no, this is not what I want it to be? So how do you make that decision? And then what do you do about it? It's easy to just say, oh yeah, I'm just going to go with it and let it be whatever it's going to be. And I've done that on other things, like my first vessel, I was just kind of experimenting. But this one, I'm not willing to just kind of go with it. It's really important to me that it have these kind of jagged edges. As I was doing this, I was thinking about when I'm determined. So for example, part of my life practice is to try and be kind. Not because that comes easily to me. I don't think being unkind is easy, but sometimes it is. Sometimes my first impulse is not to be kind. I have to do things every day in order to be this other way that doesn't come to me automatically, that doesn't occur to me as like an automatic response, particularly when people say things that aren't particularly nice, and I don't just mean here on YouTube, I mean out in the world. And I don't always do it perfectly. Sometimes I don't even do it well, but it's something that I'm determined. It's important to me. It's important to me to show up in the world and have that as my goal. No matter what someone says, no matter how someone behaves, it's not about them. This is about my response. And so going back to the sphere, this is about my response. It's not behaving in the way that I want it to. And so I have made the decision that I'm not willing to just let it go and kind of go with the flow of it and let it be whatever it is. I need to put into place the things that are important to me. And that takes work and determination and a commitment. And I have all those things. So I'll turn you around and we'll get started on this, and you'll see what kind of a mess I made. And it's okay. Is frosting that I dyed for the last time, and then I put it in the freezer, and then I can take it out, thaw it, and it'll pipe. I'm good to go. And I make 6 layers because she's going to want another one, and so instead of having to make one every week, which is way too much for me, I make a double recipe of everything, and then I just have to unthaw it. And a week, 10 days, so I'm trying to get her to every 2 weeks would be better. That would be the best. But she doesn't ask for a lot, so I try to do what I can. If she asks, I try to do it. If humanly possible, I want to, because she almost never asks for things, so when she does, I want to honor that. Okay, in the meantime, I'm going to go back to my studio and get some work done on that sphere that is completely not working. So we'll see how that goes. This is not what I had hoped for. But this is what is going on right now. This is the bottom, which will then sew sort of halfway. But these are supposed to be jagged points, right? Like I showed my husband and he goes, oh, so you're making it's kind of like a bowl. And I'm thinking, that is not what I want. I do not want a bowl. That is not at all what I want. So what we have here is this is the beginning of the next shape. It's going to go like this. And do you see this big jagged bit? So that's that. And this is the other shape, which will go on the other side. And it's going to like this. So I've got two jagged peaks here, and I need another, I think. Anyway, this is clearly not what I had intended, and so I'm having to rethink it. I mean, I'm okay with just a part of this being sort of like this, but I also don't want it to be like, it's not just a sphere. But I'm determined. I am determined to get something close to what I envisioned. It doesn't have to be exact. I'm willing to compromise, but I definitely, this is not it. I found a photo that I took of Torres del Paine. Look at that. That is what we saw outside of our window when we were in Chile, in Patagonia. See those craggy peaks? So right now I have this part. I need to get those 3 craggy peaks. What kind of magic can I conjure up on this? Gotta be something. This is what I've kind of put together. And it's got these crazy sort of things. I'm going to go ahead with this idea, make it up, and then see about stitching it together. I've also added some here and here to the existing shell. And we'll see how that works out. But right now I'm going to take this part off, but I wanted to photograph it first. I need to take photos so I don't forget how it goes. I think I'm going to figure this out first, and then I'm going to work on these big pieces. Do the easiest thing. This will be easier because I already have something existing, so I know kind of how I want it to flow. So that's what I'm up to. Okay. I am not a professional maker. I'm not a professional icer, but this is what my daughter wants. So I have my palette goes here, and I do kind of a variation on this, but I try to get it kind of close. So So I've attached this piece, and I've attached this little bit, but I'm going to stitch this all down. 10 minutes of stitching. Just quiet stitching. This is starting to look a bit more like what I had hoped. And the final piece, which is going to come here, has two big peaks. So that'll be much better. But otherwise, I put safety pins here for the rupture in the side. These pins are just pinning it onto the wire base. So, it's pretty good. We're on our way. As a quick ending to this video, as you can see, this sphere is not done. I wanted it to be done. It's not. Not because it's a failure, not because I failed, but because it's not saying what I need it to say. And so I'm going to go in there and I'm reshaping it and I'm making sure that I've got those jagged peaks the way I want them. And I'm hoping the next video it will be done and I'll get to show you the finished sphere. But at this point, no. So it's about determination. And as I said in the beginning, in the intro, this is also about integrity and how I choose to live my life one day at a time, doing the best I can, having a goal in mind and continuing. And when I mess up, I keep going. I do it differently the next time. I try to remember, because forgetfulness is such a huge part of this. I forget. I forget the mistakes I've made. I forget the lessons that I've supposedly learned. And I guess you could say that's not a lesson learned if I forget it, but I do. I'm constantly forgetting, and I constantly need reminders. I have to remind myself, oh yes, this works. Oh yes, take a breath. Oh yes, you got this. It's okay. All of that. It takes just practice over and over and over. And it's the same with this. I'm going to get this guy. I got this. It's not the boss of me. I need it to be jagged. I need it to be jagged peaks rising up. And that's what I'm trying to do. Rising up. I'm trying to not stay small. I'm trying not to whisper. I'm trying not to shrink myself down and make sure that I'm really not taking up space. I'm trying to just live a life of integrity, and I want what I create to echo that. Tell me in the comments, what's your response? What are your thoughts about what you create? Have you messed up at some point? What did you do? How did you fix it? Or did you just say, you know what? I'm going with it. This is fine. I've done both, by the way. I don't think there's a wrong or a right answer. I think each piece has its own kind of story and what we bring to it and how we conceive of it. So I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear your stories. Tell me. Thanks so much for watching. If this resonates with you, you want to hear more about the process of creating and how I relate it to my life, subscribe. I'd love to see you here.